All right, so today's going to be February 16th, 2021. I'm going to currently be up uh, a small winning day, but not many trades. So overall, a good winning day for the amount of trades I took. The day overall just wasn't really a great day. Not really a lot of things moving and not a lot of things really opening up. Um, and that's just the day today. So happy with my performance. I did miss. It could have been better, but I'm still happy with the day. There's a lot of noise, and I was able to capture, very good setup. So let's kind of go over everything: PLTR, BNGO, and then RIOT. For every single one of these stocks, I didn't like any of the pre-market action, so there wasn't going to be an opening drive play out of the open. It was basically me just sitting here and kind of maybe taking a 3-minute orb or a 5-minute orb, something like that. So um, overall, um, no structure really to kind of the open of the day. So PLTR, only a few trades here. So on the 1 minute, stock was gapping down. So we kind of opened up, had a huge sell off. And then we had two candles here, and I was kind of thinking if we can kind of start the crack and start rolling over, maybe I take that short. It just got bottom from that level, and maybe I was like, okay, well maybe since it got bottom progressively here, it's going to go up. Then kind of just sold off hard, and then started going sideways, and I wasn't really getting a good direction on where it was that I was going to go. But then I kind of looked here at the 3 minute, so we have a nice sell-off candle here, little inside bar candle, and then if this kind of would have held UAP and would have started popping up on the next candle, I would have taken this long over 30. But it printed as a red candle, kind of showing weakness, and this candle came down to the lows, and then I'm pretty sure on this candle I was in short already. But kind of go over in short, it was on this candle here at 941, or it was after the rejection here, and then it kind of came down. So it must have been 932, 942. Got short here at 32, so 29.32, and it was kind of just dancing. As you can see, it kind of came up against me. I had a really big stop, um, because I wasn't really liking price action stuff like that, and finally came back down. And it came up, then it came down, and it was just kind of just hovering here. I was here for roughly 4 minutes doing nothing, and then um, this is kind of my mistake. Once I started getting some movement in my favor here, I just clicked it off to have a break-even winning trade basically. And then the next candle kind of opened up, sold off pretty aggressively. That was kind of a move I was looking for. Then it popped back up into the entry point, and then finally sold off pretty aggressively. Now we really only had one big sell-off candle. Then it kind of goes sideways for a while, and then we finally get another little candle here that comes down. Um, just overall really wasn't a great mover. As you can see here, it kind of does look a little bit better here on the 3 minute, but within those candles, it was just a little bit more difficult to trade. And I kind of thought, maybe I can take this here for a short since it's a doji 3 minute, but I didn't like how the doji was all the way up top, showing that there were buyers here, and I just felt like also that was going to be a big stop due to how the stock was moving and how it was trading. Decided not to take it, and as you can see, it kind of just pulled up against us. But overall, this here was a break-even trade for me. Again, could have been obviously much bigger. Would have decided to scale out of the position, but just overall, wasn't liking the price action, and I got to maybe get a little bit better. I sat in there for 4 minutes. Um, looks like I needed 4 minutes and like a second because the minute I clicked off, the stock dropped. So need to hold a little bit longer. Hopefully, we could have scaled out as we would have gotten uh, an okay move, I guess, coming down. And then kind of started popping up here. And overall, this is, regardless of how the trend is looking, this is a downtrend. Um, so now, as we're getting into this candle here, we're looking for a 3 minute great pullback. PSARs are in our favor. It was looking good here, and then it kind of popped up. And then finally here, once this stock kind of retested VWAP, the PSAR flipped, and therefore I decided to not take a trade. Um, and if you would have noticed here, we would have had a nice move lower for a 3 minute. great pullback, kind of like a VWAP fade, whatever you want to call it. But for me, that would have been a good move. And again, I kind of came up here, retested, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I can take this for a short. Kind of worked here, even though the PSAR wasn't my favorite, but then I decided not to, and then this kind of doesn't work either. Kind of went sideways. That's really it. PLTR, not really a big mover. BNGO. So BNGO, um, so out of the open, we have nice sell-off candles here, and it doesn't really sell off too hard or too far away, and then it kind of comes back up. We retest VWAP, it slams down, but then we don't get the continuation of the selling pressure. It actually comes back up with great buying pressure and wants to retest VWAP again. And really, what happened here was on the 3-minute. Right, we have one big sell-off candle, which is fine. Not a big one at all, kind of inside the body of the first one, and then we get this push back up into VWAP. Within those candles, like again, we have a lot of to me what looks like buying pressure coming in, and you could have taken this for a long for a VWAP cross. Once this candle kind of broke through, could have had a nice move higher. This is also just a hindsight trade. Usually a VWAP cross requires me to for the stock to break through VWAP, retest, and then once it starts pushing up, you could have taken it. But I'm kind of looking for a little bit more aggressive entries on trades that don't come back to retest. So for instance, this isn't really looking too weak here. Yeah, it's sold off, but it looks like there's a lot of buying pressure here at 14.10, 14.20, and for us to retest VWAP, get slammed down, and then just for it to get bought up pretty aggressively again, that's telling us something that the buyers are most likely in control, and a long entry over 14.50 would have been a good price to get into. So that's just a little bit of a missed opportunity. I'm not going to buy my head over that one because it's not something I'm really known for looking for. Just something I need to take note of. So that would have been a great move going up like that. And then we had this very weird consolidation going sideways. It's actually looking kind of crappy for price action. This was a great pullback, but 1 minute didn't take it just due to this action prior. And it kind of gets slammed down, and then on the 3-minute we have a 3-minute great pullback, and I take this for a long over 15, so I got in at 15.03. And since it's a 3-minute setup, I decided to scale out of the position, and I scaled out at it was like 12s, 22s, 32s, um, and then the problem I had was, in this candle we kind of flashed up very quickly into the 40s, and I wasn't able to scale out of that either. And then it kind of came back down, and I ended up clicking it off at 15.29. So that was really the problem. I needed to have held. If it would have come back down to the break even, then you get out. But there was no real sign that this was gonna continue lower. Chart didn't tell me. At the end of the day, we just ended up looking like a doji candle. And then the next candle kind of comes up. Still nothing to be worried about. Nothing to be worried about. Maybe if this kind of slams down, you can get worried and click off. But we do get back up into the 40s. So and into the 60s. And really, that last scale out was really the difference between this being a very, very good trade and a whatever trade. So also me getting in at 15, first target shouldn't have been 12. It should have been more like 20s, and different targets as it goes up. But overall, this was basically the moneymaker of the day. Basically, the one trade that got me very green, and everything else was kind of just kind of crappy. Then on the 3-minute, I was thinking maybe we can take this up for a consolidation play. I see the move up, then we have 1, 2, 3 candles going sideways, and we're very much hovering over the highs of the day. If this candle would have kind of opened up and started breaking through, I would have taken that for a long, but it got slammed down, so no trade. And then we get slammed down into the gray moving average. The problem was we had the PSAR flip, so no trade here, but ideally take this for a trade. You get in at 15, 20s, low 20s. Stop loss would have been there. And you get, 6 minutes later, you're most likely at a target. That's already 1.5. So very, very decent trade here, and then you kind of taking the rest off here once this candle breaks the low of this 3 minute. Not really the best, the biggest moving trade, but would have been nice to have a little profit there. But PSAR told me not to get in, so I didn't get into the trade. And that was a BNGO. And then finally on RIOT, again on RIOT, I was struggling with big spread and kind of whippy action, but nonetheless, um, there was, I guess, opportunities to make money. So first of all, um, two little candles, and we get this very aggressive push up above VWAP. This here was basically the retest. Usually I like to wait for a few candles retesting and then the pop up. But in this scenario, we got a pretty aggressive buy up off VWAP again. I'm okay with me not taking this trade. Didn't really open up the way I anticipated, but that could have been something. And then we kind of have sideways action, and it kind of comes down into the gray moving average. Again, I'm okay not taking this trade either. We haven't really formulated a trend just yet. We do know there's buyers coming in, but there could be just as many sellers somewhere up here. So not really a trend. Therefore, not really a trade here. But now we are getting into this part where it's looking like it's looking like it's kind of trending higher, even though it's not really the best, especially from let's say 9:45 to 10:05. So 20 minutes here of it being kind of sideways action. But the 3 minute looks way more clear. Definitely going up, right? Coming back down, coming back up. Now down, down, down. Now this candle was the candle because this here touches the gray moving average, and as it pops up, basically engulfs this red candle and all these other candles here. And it's looking like it's going to break out, which it did. So that would have been a gray pullback. Take it long here on this candle. 2 minutes later, you got a decent profit target. So that would have been that. And then again here on the 3 minute, what I see here is big move higher. And then we have the three candles kind of making that U shape. Basically have that U shape happening there. Um, and this candle here is kind of getting to the high, so you could have taken that for a long over 60s, I guess. And within basically I think 2 minutes you're at 61. So overall, not really the cleanest day, but overall, um, only a few good setups, and I'm kind of happy where I was today. I wanted to be very aggressive, just not really the day to be aggressive. I ended up missing this one. Kind of flashed up too fast for me to get the risk reward in, but I did get. I did notice this one, and I also didn't take that. But besides that, not really great action. So we're back tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow there's much better action, and we can make a bigger winning day.